Team USA just made a decision that's sending shockwaves through the veteran guard establishment. Sue Bird handed out invitations to December's elite training camp at Duke University, and the roster reveals something the WNBA's old guard has been dreading for months. Caitlin Clark got the call, so did Paige Bueckers. Juju Watkins made the list, Angel Reese, Cameron Brink, Aliyah Boston. This isn't just a training camp. This is Team USA announcing to the world that they're building their next dynasty. And they're doing it around the players who represent basketball's future, not its past. The invitation list tells you everything you need to know about where American women's basketball is heading. This December camp at Duke determines who makes the 2026 World Cup roster and who earns their spot for the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. Sue Bird doesn't waste roster spots on nostalgia. She evaluates talent, leadership potential, and global marketability. The names she selected for this camp represent her vision for dominating international basketball for the next decade. And many of you have been saying this for weeks. The generational transition isn't coming gradually, it's happening right now, and it's happening fast. Here's what makes this moment so significant. Clark walks into this camp as a professional player for the first time at the senior national team level. Her college dominance already proved she could perform under massive pressure. Her WNBA seasons demonstrated she could compete against the world's best players night after night. Now Team USA wants to see if she can lead America's next golden generation on the global stage. If you believe the story behind the story matters, smash that like button. It tells us we're on the right track. The camp runs for 3 intense days at Duke University. Head coach Kara Lawson leads the operation alongside WNBA coaches Natalie Nakasi, Nate Tibbetts, and Stephanie White. These coaches have watched Clark transform professional basketball over the past 2 seasons. They've seen her break viewership records, sell out arenas, and change how young players approach the game. Now they get to evaluate her alongside the most exciting young talent in women's basketball history, all competing together for the first time. Let's filter out the noise and focus on what this roster composition actually reveals. Team USA invited rising stars who represent the sport's immediate future. Paige Bueckers brings elite scoring ability and championship pedigree from UConn. Juju Watkins has already established herself as one of the most explosive offensive players in college basketball. Angel Reese combines her rebounding dominance with an improving all-around game. Cameron Brink's defensive versatility makes her perfect for international competition. Aliyah Boston's partnership with Clark in Indiana has already proven successful at the professional level. Reading between the lines reveals Team USA's calculated strategy. They're not building this roster around established veterans anymore. They're constructing a team that can dominate for multiple Olympic cycles. The average age of this invited group skews younger than any previous Team USA training camp. Sue Bird is betting on chemistry, energy, and players who grew up in the social media era, understanding how to connect with global audiences. This represents more than basketball talent evaluation. This is about selecting athletes who can carry the American brand worldwide. The chemistry factor becomes crucial when you examine who got invited together. Clark and Boston already know each other's playing styles intimately from their time with the Indiana Fever. Their connection on the court looks natural and effortless. Boston's defensive presence allows Clark to take more offensive risks. Clark's court vision gets Boston easy scoring opportunities. International opponents will struggle to contain their 2-player combinations and pick-and-roll execution. Team USA coaches want to see if that Indiana chemistry translates to the world stage. Veterans like Jackie Young and Kelsey Plum will attend the camp too. They bring championship experience and international success to the mix. But you were onto something when you noticed how the announcement framed this camp. The emphasis landed squarely on the young stars. The promotional materials highlighted Clark, Bueckers, and Watkins. The veteran presence feels more like providing leadership and knowledge transfer than competing for roster spots. Team USA is making it clear where they see the future, and it doesn't center around the guard combinations that worked in previous Olympic cycles. Sue Bird's role as managing director gives her enormous influence over these roster decisions. She evaluates every move, every play, every leadership moment during these 3 days. The players who impress her at Duke earn their pathway to international stardom, the ones who don't get left behind. Bird has already proven she can identify talent that succeeds at the highest levels. Her selection of this particular group sends a message about the direction of American women's basketball. She's choosing players who can dominate internationally, while also growing the sport's global audience. The December timing adds another layer of strategic planning to this camp. It happens between WNBA seasons when players are fresh and focused. The 3-day format allows coaches to run intensive evaluations without the distractions of ongoing professional commitments. Duke University provides world-class facilities and the perfect environment for serious basketball work. This isn't a showcase event for fans or media. This is Team USA conducting serious business, determining who represents America on basketball's biggest stages over the next 4 years. Clark's invitation carries extra weight because of what she represents beyond basketball statistics. Her global appeal makes her perfect for international competition. Her games consistently broke viewership records throughout her WNBA seasons. Television networks scheduled programming around her appearances. Streaming platforms saw massive subscriber spikes during her playoff games. Arena attendance doubled when her team played on the road. Team USA needs athletes who can attract worldwide attention to American basketball programs. Clark delivers that marketing value alongside her elite playing ability. The contrast becomes impossible to ignore when you examine the larger context. Connecting the dots reveals that Team USA is actively choosing to build around players who understand modern sports marketing and global fan engagement. Clark's social media presence feels authentic rather than calculated. Her interactions with fans across platforms generate organic engagement that traditional athletes struggle to match. International broadcasters will pay premium rates for games featuring Clark. Global sponsors want association with Team USA specifically because of players like her who transcend basketball. This camp marks the official beginning of a new era. The 2026 World Cup gives this young roster their first major test together. The 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles provides the ultimate stage with home crowds cheering for Clark, leading Team USA on American soil. These aren't distant future competitions. These tournaments are happening soon, and Team USA is making their roster decisions right now at Duke University. The players who succeed during these December sessions earn their spots in basketball history. What do you think Team USA's roster decisions reveal about where women's basketball is heading? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear your perspective on this generational shift. The reaction to this camp announcement exposes tensions that have been building throughout Clark's professional career. While fans celebrated seeing the sport's brightest young stars invited together, certain established players responded with noticeable silence. Social media activity from some veterans revealed their feelings about being potentially displaced. We're getting into observation territory here, but the pattern suggests growing frustration among players who dominated the previous Olympic cycle. They're watching younger athletes receive opportunities that traditionally required years of professional experience to earn. Clark's journey to this invitation happened faster than any player in recent Team USA history. She completed just 2 WNBA seasons before earning consideration for international competition. Traditional pathways required players to establish themselves over multiple seasons, win championships, and prove their consistency across years of professional basketball. Team USA is throwing out that old playbook completely. They're fast-tracking players based on talent, marketability, and potential, rather than requiring extensive professional resumes. The business reality driving these decisions becomes clear when you examine women's basketball's current economics. Clark's presence generates immediate financial impact for every entity she touches. Her rookie season brought unprecedented revenue growth to the WNBA. Television deals increased in value because networks wanted to broadcast her games. Merchandise sales reached levels the league had never seen before. Corporate sponsors paid premium rates for association with Clark's brand. Team USA recognizes they're not just selecting basketball players anymore. They're choosing athletes who can transform the economics of international women's basketball. Multiple sources are whispering about how this shift affects veteran players who expected to remain Team USA fixtures. Not officially confirmed, but the breadcrumbs lead to growing concerns among established guards about their international futures. Some veterans built their careers around Team USA appearances and the endorsement opportunities those competitions provided. Watching younger players receive those invitations after minimal professional experience creates understandable frustration. The sport is changing faster than many established players anticipated. Clark's commercial success highlights the gap between traditional star athletes and cultural phenomenon players. Her Nike deal reportedly dwarfs what other WNBA players command in endorsement value. Her signature shoes and apparel generated immediate buzz across social media platforms. Fans lined up to buy Clark-branded merchandise within hours of product launches. The demand crashed several retail websites during initial sales periods. Other players, Nike products sit on shelves while Clark's items sell out instantly. The market has spoken clearly about which athletes drive consumer behavior. The crossover appeal factor separates Clark from her peers in ways that basketball statistics alone can't measure. The LPGA Tour embraced her as a golf ambassador after videos of her playing went viral. Professional golfers invite Clark to play in celebrity tournaments. Golf brands want to sponsor her equipment and appearances. She brings basketball fans into golf venues and attracts new audiences to both sports. Forbes included Clark in their prestigious 30 Under 30 list for her business impact across multiple industries. Major companies study Clark's marketing success as a case study for athlete endorsements. If these reports are accurate, Team USA's roster construction focuses heavily on players who can expand the sports audience beyond traditional basketball fans. Clark represents the perfect model for this approach. Her demographic appeal spans age groups, gender lines, and geographic regions. Corporate sponsors see her as their gateway to younger consumers and underserved markets. She can sell products to basketball fans, golf enthusiasts, and casual sports viewers simultaneously. Team USA needs athletes who deliver this type of commercial value alongside their on-court performance. The December camp will test more than just basketball skills. Sue Bird and her coaching staff will evaluate leadership qualities, media presence, and how players handle pressure in elite competitive environments. Clark has already demonstrated all these attributes throughout her professional career. She credits teammates after victories and takes responsibility during losses. She signs autographs for fans after every game. Her approach to success resonates with audiences in ways that ego-driven athletes never achieve. These qualities make her valuable to Team USA beyond her scoring ability and court vision. International competition requires different skills than WNBA games. The three-point line sits farther back. Referees call games differently. Teams employ zone defenses that American players rarely face professionally. Clark's shooting range and basketball IQ make her perfectly suited for these adjustments. Her ability to create for teammates becomes even more valuable when facing international defensive schemes. Team USA coaches want to see how she adapts her game to FIBA rules and international playing styles during these December sessions. The 2026 World Cup timeline creates urgency for these roster decisions. Team USA needs to identify their core group soon to build chemistry before competition begins. The December camp starts that process by bringing together players who could form the foundation of multiple international rosters. Success at the World Cup sets up the 2028 Olympics with momentum and confidence. Clark competing in the Olympics on American soil in Los Angeles represents the type of marketing opportunity that transcends sports. Global television audiences will watch her lead Team USA during the most watched sporting event in the world. This moment represents more than one player receiving an invitation. This is Team USA announcing their complete strategic direction for the next decade. They're betting on youth, marketability, and players who understand modern fan engagement. The decision to build around Clark and her generation means accepting that some established veterans won't be part of this future. That's always difficult when talented players get displaced by younger athletes. But Team USA is making the tough calls necessary to keep American women's basketball dominant internationally, while also growing the sport's global audience. Clark now carries enormous expectations heading into Duke. She needs to prove she can compete at this elite level while handling the pressure of being Team USA's centerpiece. The camp will test her conditioning, basketball IQ, leadership presence, and ability to mesh with players she's competed against professionally. Success during these 3 days launches her toward representing America on basketball's biggest stages. The pathway from this December camp leads directly to the World Cup and Olympics. Clark stands at the beginning of what could become the most successful international career in women's basketball history. So here's the question we'll be exploring in our next video. How will Team USA's roster decisions impact the upcoming WNBA season? If you want to stay ahead of these developing stories, hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications. The dynamics between players competing for international roster spots will shape everything that happens on professional courts next season. We're tracking every development, every reaction, every shift in these competitive relationships. This is just the beginning of a story that will define women's basketball for years to come. We'll see you in the next one.